Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. Been wondering just what you mean to me. Oh, Christmas tree. Honestly.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kiana and I do a lot of sewing, fashion, and DIY videos. Today I have a DIY Christmas video and I'm including 5 separate DIYs for you guys to try out. 4 of those 5 DIYs are sewing, but the sewing is so incredibly beginner friendly. Like, you guys got this. I know you do. And in case you guys are still a little bit afraid, I have included downloadable patterns, templates, directions for you guys to refer to. So not only am I showing you and telling you how to do all of these DIYs, I'm literally including like a printable help guide to help you out. And as I go through these DIYs, I'll tell you what I've included for you to download. So if you want to check out those patterns and templates, those are the first links down below in the description. Oh, and as always, I will be including all of the supplies and equipment that I will be using throughout this video down below in the description. Anyways, I hope you enjoy this video, so let's just get into it. So starting off with a silk pillowcase, these blissy ones have been all the rage lately, but bro, no way. So I'm gonna teach you how to make your own. I'm making a pillowcase for a queen size pillow, so I'm cutting 1 front and 2 backs with these size measurements in inches. But if you're not making it for a queen size pillow, have no fear, because linked down below I have all the measurements that you need to cut out for all the other sized pillows. Because I'm just cutting out a bunch of rectangles, I'm literally just making snips in the fabric and then ripping it because that will just make sure that our rectangles are perfectly rectangular and on grain. So I'm just ripping out a bunch of rectangles. And by the way, I'm making an envelope pillow, so the opening is in the middle of the back, just because I like how snug these types of pillowcases fit. By the way, the cheapest place I found 100% silk charmeuse has been Dharma Trading. I recommend that you get the 19.5 mummy weight. I'm actually using the 12 mummy weight, but it is just a little bit too sheer for sure, but it's what I had on hand already. So like I said, you should have 1 front piece and 2 back pieces. You can toss out the front piece for now, and we're gonna finish the edges of these 2 back pieces along the middle where the opening would be. So I'm just turning and stitching it with a 1/4 inch hem. So after that, we want to put the back pieces wrong sides together, because we're going to be doing some French seams on this pillowcase. I'm pinning it up all the way around, and then I'm going to sew with a 1/4 inch seam allowance around the entire pillowcase. Then I'm going to be trimming down our seam allowances from a 1/4 inch to 1/8 of an inch, like so, and I clipped all the corners. Then I'm just turning that pillowcase inside out so all the right sides are together, making sure I push out my corners nice. Then I'm going to take this over to the ironing board and just press those seams nice and flat. After that, we're going to repeat the same process and sew this rectangle again along the edges with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. This will give the silk pillowcase those nice finished edges and make it last a lot longer. Then I'm just pressing open the seams as best I can. This doesn't really matter because the pillowcase is going to be nice and snug and holding the seams flat. And then after that, you are done. You have yourself a beautiful silk envelope pillowcase. I thought it would be a cute idea to make an entire silk sleep set for someone, so I'll be making these at the end of the video. Okay, so now we are in my office. I got my computer because we are going to be making the name plaques. Essentially, it's kind of like a page that you would pull out of a dictionary for whoever you're making this name plaque for. So I'm making it for my mom and dad. They have hundreds on like Etsy that you can just like purchase now if you don't want to do this. I think they're really cheap already, but what I think is so special about this idea is that you can personalize it and just print it yourself. So a lot of the ones on Etsy are just like really generalized terms for a mother. So this way we can make one really meaningful. So I'm just gonna write down some things that come to mind when I think of my mom, and then I'll show you how I put it together in a plaque. I could go on forever, but just kind of make this list for your mom. The next thing I did was I opened up a Google Doc. So in this Google Doc, I've made a template for you guys that I'm going to give you just this exact document so that you can edit it and download it yourself, because I did, change the fonts, put spaces between the fonts, all of that, make this line for you, whatever. I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible for you guys, so you just have to download this and then type in your own information. Like, you don't have to format it in any way because I've already done that for you. So as you can see here, I wrote mother. For this, I literally went into dictionary.com and typed in mother. I literally just copy and pasted the phonetics of mother. Is that the word, phonetics? And then I'm just gonna read you the paragraph that I wrote when I put together all of those things that made me think of my mom. So I wrote, a woman who has made unimaginable sacrifices to provide her daughter with all the opportunities she herself was never given. A woman who unconditionally loves and supports her daughter even when her daughter is being a survivor who has extraordinary strength and bravery. A woman greatly admired and loved by her family and all who know her. And then after that, I just exported it as a PDF and I printed it out. I printed mine out on cardstock just because I like it a little bit more durable. And then these frames I'm using here are from the Dollar Tree, so really freaking inexpensive. And I think it looks really dang cute and it's heartfelt. The next thing we are making is a fold over clutch, and it doesn't have to fold over, so you can just make like a regular little bag or makeup bag. You're gonna need two 11 by 11 inch shell pieces of fabric, two 11 by 11 lining, two 2 by 3 shell pieces of fabric, and then a 9-inch zipper. And if you are not using a 9-inch zipper, all of these measurements will be different. So I have that again linked down below in the description, so you know exactly what size of pieces of fabric to cut out. Now I'm folding and pressing the small pieces of fabric to make the zipper tabs. I'm folding it hot dog style each time. Haha, I hate using that term. But you saw what I just did. I folded it in half and then folded the two edges to the center point to fold it and then folded it again. And so now you have the zipper tabs. Because you can't sew through metal, I'm gonna have to place my zipper tabs behind the edges of the metal. If you were using a plastic zipper, you could move your zipper tab to here and then like cut off the remainder of the zipper, but I am limited by the actual size my zipper is right now. So I'm going to place these zipper tabs on either side of the metal, and I'm going to take my tailor's chalk and just mark where the zipper tab ends and cut off the excess so that I can slide that right into my little zipper tab that I made. And then I'm going to stitch a line right along here to enclose the zipper in the zipper tab, and then it should look like this. So now I'm going to place the zipper right sides together with my shell fabric, and then I'm going to take my lining and place that on the wrong side of the zipper. So then the zipper will be encased by the two pieces of fabric. And then I'm going to sew a line right at the edge of the zipper, like between like 1/4 and 1/2 inch in. You don't want to hit the metal, so you don't want to be too close. So I'm just using a zipper foot to get close to the zipper but not hit the metal. Now I'm just going to trim off the excess length in the zipper tabs. Now I just flipped everything right side out and I'm just top stitching close to that edge. And by the way, I'm using a heavier duty top stitching thread. So after you top stitch, it should look like this, and then just repeat that same process on the other side. Now make sure you open the zipper a little bit past halfway, and then take your two shell pieces, put them right sides together, and then put the two lining pieces right sides together. And now we're going to stitch around in the entire rectangle. When you do this, make sure you do not stitch in that zipper tab. You should just stitch a hair away from the zipper tab, but do not catch it. And then another thing to remember is make sure these side seams line up. So I'm just making sure that these seams right here do indeed match up. Now you can just stitch around the entire rectangle, and then you want to leave actually a hole in the lining, and I'll show you in a second, but just make sure you don't catch the zipper tabs. So here's the hole that you want to leave in the lining. That way you can fish your hand through and then fish your hand through the opening in the zipper to pull everything right side out. Oh, and then make sure you also clip your corners before you turn everything right side out. Now you can just stitch close the opening you left in the lining with your sewing machine, or you could hand stitch it, but seems like too much work. After that, I just added some snaps where I wanted on the bag. It would be better to have those magnetic purse closures, but I didn't have that on hand, but you can get them on Amazon for super cheap. And then I'm just taking some acrylic paint mixed with some fabric medium, which is not actually necessary for this, but you know, I go the extra mile, guys. And then I mix those together, and then I'm just painting my name because no one's gonna steal my bag. Again, like I said, you don't have to make this a fold over bag. You can literally just make it like a little pouch. Just play around with the measurements that you cut out of the fabric and don't put snaps in it. And then this is the final bag. Ooh, cute. Now to add on to our silk sleeping set, we're gonna make a silk sleeping mask. So I'm taking 2 pieces of silk fabric and 1 piece of batting and the pattern that I have provided to you for free down in the description, and I'm cutting those all out at once because efficiency, guys. Now I'm choosing to use 1/2 inch elastic, and I'm cutting that 14 inches long. And then for my other piece of fabric that I'm going to wrap the elastic in, I'm cutting out a silk rectangle that is double the length of my elastic, so 28 inches long, and then I'm cutting it 1.75 inches wide, which is double the width of the elastic plus 3/4 of an inch. Just so you know how I calculated that in case you're using a different width of elastic. Now I'm just folding the silk in half and sewing it with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. After that, flip this tube of fabric inside out, or I guess right side out, and then I'm going to feed the elastic with a safety pin through this silk tube, so this ugly elastic is covered by a beautiful silk, and it will feel so nice on your skin. Ooh hoo hoo, wow. Now to sew this all together, I'm going to take my batting as my first layer, place a layer of the silk charmeuse on top of that, wrong side of the silk charmeuse to the batting, so the right side is pointed towards the sky and facing or touching this head strap, and then I'm again going to take a piece of silk charmeuse, right side touching the head strap, and then I'm going to pin that all around and sew it together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then also just remember to leave an opening somewhere so that you can actually flip this mask right side out. After that, I'm just hand stitching this closed. You could stitch it closed with your machine, but I decided to hand stitch it, so I take a little stitch of fabric on one of the folds, and then directly opposite that on the other side, I will take another little stitch of fabric. And then I just continue that until the entire seam is closed. So then after that, you are finished and you now have a soft sleeping mask to go along perfectly with your silk pillowcase. Now, if you want to fully complete this silk sleeping set, I actually already have a video on my channel where I teach you how to make oversized scrunchies using French seams, which is actually exactly how I made this oversized scrunchie as well. I decided to do the French seam method just so it's nicely finished because this is a very high quality silk scrunchie and I wanted it to be durable and last a long time. So I will have a card on the top of the screen and this video linked down below. Alright, so that was everything. I hope you guys enjoyed all of these DIYs in this video, and hopefully those patterns and templates that I've linked down below will help you as well. Let me know down in the comments if you have any other questions or need any help with any of these DIYs, and I will be sure to try and reply to you. And if you do end up recreating any of these DIYs, send it to me on Instagram, post a picture or DM it to me. I would love to see. Anyways, if you did like this video, please feel free to interact with it in any sort of way, like, comment, whatever, subscribe. It is the easiest way to help support your favorite creators for free. Also follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you have not already. I post a lot of content on there. My handle is Kiana Bonollo. Oh, and remember, I did include all of the supplies and equipment that I used throughout this video down below in the description. Yeah, so I think that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi, are you measuring for me? Thank you. What's the measurement? Can you tell me what the measurement is? High five. Thank you. Oh, you can't get up? Oh. Oh. Can you say subscribe if you like this video? Okay, never mind.